Hey G Squad, welcome back to Solix. Is it worth it? Today's episode we got this cool right here. And pretty much what this is a portable power station. And see right here we do have two of them that has a similar design in terms of what you guys do get. This one right here is a C1000, which is the newest one that just came out not too long ago. And this one right here is a 757. So supposedly for this one, it's a little bit more stronger in terms of what you guys do get. And this one right here is supposed to be a little bit weaker, but they do have a lot of power on here in terms of surge pad technology, ultra fast charging option, and etc. So if you guys really think about it, it's like a smaller version of the 757, but it also allows you guys to connect on the app for this one in terms of Bluetooth connection and Wi-Fi connection, which I'll show you in a second. But you see how the top part, they do have a handle for you guys to carry around. And this one obviously a little bit more lightweight when you guys do feel it. Compared to this one right here, it's definitely a little bit more heavier. And the design for both of them, it is slightly different in terms of what you guys do get. Let me actually bring the camera closer to show you guys what it looks like, because this one's a bit too heavy. So when you guys do look at both of them, you can see how both of them give you guys a car socket option. So this one has it here, and this one has it here. When you guys do look at the screen, this one's definitely a little bit more bigger, and this one's a little smaller. And also the display, it looks a little bit different when you guys do use it. This one actually shows you guys 48%, and this bar here, where for this one only shows you the number. And notice how for this one give you guys 100 watts of power and 60 watts for the USB-C option. Where for this one right here, it shows you guys 100 watts and 30 watts. And it'll give you guys two USB-A option. This one give you guys 4, and then this one give you guys 3 of the 3-prong option and 3 of the 2-prong option. Honestly, I don't understand why don't they just make all 6 of them to be the grounded option, because that's a lot more convenient. Similar to what you guys get here, because all 6 of them is a grounded option with a 3-prong option. But this one probably a little bit more stronger with the surge pad technology on here. Like I mentioned, for the new one, actually allow you guys to connect on the app, so you guys can connect right here. This one don't have the option, but I feel like they should have made it on here. And then for both of the unit, they do have the reset option here. You can see, and then this one's right here. And then for this one, they do have a power saving mode for you to turn on if you guys do need to. This one doesn't have the option, but you do have the option to turn on the load saving mode or something on here on the app. And notice how both of them, they do give you guys a light option. This one's a little bit smaller, and this one's a little bit more bigger. So if I do turn on, this would be on 1, and this would be on 1. So that's the difference for both of them. This would be 2. When you guys do look at number 2, it does seem like this one's a little bit more brighter when you guys do look at both of them. If you guys press the last one, this is number 3, and this is number 3. Even when you guys turn on number 3 for this one, even though this one is a little bit smaller, it does look like the brightness on here is a little bit more brighter than what you guys get for this one. And if you guys do turn it off, that's how I do turn it off. If you guys do press and hold it, you do have the option turn on SOS. Same thing for this one. So in case of emergency, you do have the option to use that option. And notice how for the car socket option and the AC option, they do have the button for you to press to turn it on. Same thing for right here. And then obviously for both of them, like I mentioned, they do have the handle for you guys to use on top. Same thing for this side. And on both sides of the unit, they do have the air vent option to prevent it from overheating when you guys use that. Let me turn it to the side to show you guys what I mean. So here's what it looks on the side for both of them. Notice how this one right here gives you guys the option to put in an extra expansion battery if you guys do need to. And then for this one, I don't think it has that option. So this one looks on this side. Let me turn around to the other side. Here is the other side. So this side also has the air vent option on both of them. But for this one, you can see how they do have the option for you to plug in cable to recharge it using the solar panel option, car charging option, and also the AC option here. And here we do have the overload protection. And if you guys do turn it back for both of them, once you guys turn on to the back part right here, this actually looks on the back. So this one right here doesn't have the charging option back because it's on this side here that I show you guys. And then for this one right here, it is right here in the back. So as you open up, you guys can feel free to plug in cable here to recharge it using the car charging option, overload protection, and the AC option on here. For this one, I actually give you guys a magnetic seal option to close back up, which is nice. I wish they gave you guys the option for this one here because it is an open design. I do like the cover design a little bit more. And notice how the back part for both of them, they do tell you guys to recharge the power station if your first time using it. That way can activate the product. So if you guys just start using the product and try to use it, it won't work. You guys have to actually charge it up or plug in cable to actually activate it. And obviously for the bottom, they do have like a non-slip material to prevent it from moving around when you guys do use it. But that's pretty much everything that's on the product. Now I'm actually showing you guys what the app looks like for this one first, since this one doesn't have the app control. All right. So once you guys turn on the app, this is what the app looks like. So I'll show you guys how much time is left or how much battery is left on here. It will change over time by showing 4 days. Now showing 21 hours. It's currently at 48%. And the temperature inside here is 89 degrees. But it shows you guys input and output option on here when you guys use that. Whether if you guys use DC or AC option. and you do have the option to turn on the ultra fast option when you guys do charge it, which I'll show you in a second. Whereas right here, they do have the USB option for you guys to use, and we do have the car option and AC option for you guys to turn on and turn off as well. And if you guys do press right here, you do have the option to set a timer option for the charging option for output, which is pretty cool. And you also have the option to increase and turn on and turn off the brightness level on here. So for example, if you guys do turn it on, it turns on, turn off, turn on the AC option or turn off. If that does work. Both of them, they do have a button for you guys to turn on and turn off the display, which is right here. But this one doesn't actually turn off, it just turns on. And if you guys go to the setting page here, they do give you guys the option to control the different settings on here in terms of SOS mode, the screen brightness, screen timeout, unit timeout, and the recharging power on here. Feel free to just off that. And obviously, if it's the first time using product, you do want to make sure to update the firmware on here first. The reason why is because when I first got the unit, it was only charging around like 600 watts of power. And I was wondering why, because that actually takes around more than an hour to recharge it. And I figured out it's because you guys have to update the firmware on here in order for you guys to get the power on here, which is around 900 watts or even more than that when you guys use ultra fast. So that's everything that's on about here. Let me plug in cable to show you guys how much power it does provide for both of them, starting with the old one first. So I do plug in cable in the back right here. Once you guys do plug it in, if you guys do look at how much power it does provide, right now it's at 993, and it seems like it's maintained around 1000 to 993 if you see. So with this one, definitely probably has a lot of power on here, and it mentioned how it probably take around 0.4 hours to recharge it. So not bad in terms of how much power you guys do get. It definitely charges pretty fast when you guys do that. But when you guys compare this to the new one here, let me actually unplug it and show you guys how much power on the new one. So I'm gonna use their cable to plug it in on the side right here. So once you guys do plug it in, let's take a look and see how much power in here. So right now it's providing 977 watts, which they also show you guys on here as well. So it'll probably take around 0.6 hours or 36 minutes to recharge it. But if you guys do kick in the ultra fast option, let me show you the difference. If you see how the power on it kicks up to 1300 watts, that way it can really help you guys fast charge the product even faster, which is pretty awesome. So instead of 36 minutes, it'll probably take around 30 minutes or less because it is providing around 1300 watts, which is way more than what you guys get in this one. And they do mention for the ultra fast option, you probably only want to use it when you guys are in a rush, only when you guys are necessary, because if you guys do use often, it might have damaged the battery over time. So keep that in mind. So very cool how it has the option on here, but you don't want to use it too often unless it's very necessary. But you can see how when you guys use a new one here, it definitely provides more power for the input option, which is definitely very cool. But for right now, what I want to do is unplug the cable. But what I want to do right now is test out the USB-C option first, and we'll test out the AC option when you guys use that. All right, so right here I do have my laptop here, and right here I do have the brand new Anker power bank. So this one can support up to 140 watts of power when you guys use it, and it does have multiple outputs for you guys to use, and also works as input as well, which is pretty cool. And the cool thing about this power bank is the fact that it does show you guys the display similar to what you get on here. Let me try to use the laptop first because the battery on here for the laptop is completely dead. So once you guys plug it in, it does show you guys an indicator light on top to let you guys know that you guys are using USB-C. And the power that's being provided at the moment is 93. So very close to what you guys do get for 100 watts on here. Maybe it does show you guys 100 watts, but because the number on here might be a little bit off. If you see I went to 95 already. Now let's try to plug in the second thing on here and see how much power it does provide. So now we got it plugged in here. Let me see how the number's going up. So right now it's at 55.7, 59.7. So it does get very close to 60 watts if you can see. So if you guys would plug in both of them at the same time, let's see what happens. So now we got both of them plugged in at the same time. And then now the power on here went up a lot more to 151. So definitely do probably got a lot of power on here in terms of the built-in option. So feel free to use it to recharge like your phone, your laptop, or whatever. Now let's do the same thing for this one and show you guys how it does work on this one. Because for this one only probably got 100 watts and 30 watts. So slightly less than the other one. So let's plug in the laptop first. Same thing for this one, show you guys the indicator light for the USB-C option. But they do show you guys how much power that's being provided for the output here and also right here as well. Right now it's at 89 watts. And because my battery on here is completely dead for the laptop, it will reset a few times. So that's fine. But right now it's still maintaining around 89 watts. And if you guys just leave it charging, it'll probably you guys slightly more. If not, well, it's fine. I'll show you guys a different test in a second using the other one. But we have to unplug and try the 30 watts option using the laptop on here. it does provide you guys 29 watts, you can see. And right here, show you guys 29 and 28. Now try to unplug it and plug in the power bank on here. That way you can really see how much power it does provide when you guys use it. Even though it's at 92.54% at the moment. You can see I'll show you guys around 95 watts at the moment. And now it's at 99.5. And on the product it shows you as 95, but it does provide you guys 99.5 when you guys use it, which is pretty cool. And if you guys were to plug in both at the same time, the number on here will increase a little bit more to 124. It won't go as high as other ones, and that one give you guys up to 60 watts, and this is only 30. But you see how when you guys use the product, it definitely does work. This is providing 99.5 watts, and the other one is probably providing guys like close to 30 watts. So now I'm actually unplug it, and we'll try the AC option on here for both of them to see how it does work when you guys use one kettle. All right, so right here I do have my electric kettle. Let's give it a try and see how much power it does provide when you guys use it. Starting with this one here first. So plug it in there. If you guys turn it on, it does turn on. But when you guys do look at how much power it does provide, it's providing you guys around 1100 watts. It's 1198, and it's maintaining around that power when you guys do use that. But it does work when you guys use the product, you can see. But if you guys try the other one here, let me show you guys what happens when you guys use on here instead. So for this one, it's recommended for you guys to plug it into the storage pad option. So we have to turn on here. We got it on. If you guys do look at how much power it does provide on here, it provides you guys way more. It's providing you guys 1400 watts when you guys use on here. And that's only using one option on here. And we're not using any like ultra fast technology on here or anything. It's just the way how to design this product provide you guys more power, and see. Even if you guys were to unplug it and plug it here instead, if you guys try again, give it a few seconds kind of load up. This one also provides you guys 1400 watts when you guys use the other output on here, and also show you guys right here in the app as well. So just because this is a smaller unit doesn't mean it's not powerful. It's actually very powerful in terms of what you guys do get. And the cool thing about it is the fact that when you guys use it, you do have the option to use the input and the output at the same time. So feel free to plug in cable to charge it at the same time when you guys do use it if you guys want to. So just by looking at that test, you guys can see that the smaller unit, even though it's slightly smaller, it is a lot more powerful in terms of input and output when you guys use it. Only thing that's not as powerful for this one is the USB-C option for the 30 watts versus 60 watts on here. So quite impressive in terms of what you guys do get, especially since it does have the app control for this one and this one does not. All right. So I wanted to compare both of them at the same time when you guys do plug it in. You see this one is how much power it does provide, and this is how much when you guys use the ultra fast option. So definitely probably has a lot more for this one compared to the bottom one when you guys use it, especially for the ultra fast option. All right. So now that we compare both of them to show you guys how it does work and how much power it does provide for both of them. You can see that earlier when I compared both of these, I said that this one's a bit more powerful. But when you guys really do test it out, I was actually very surprised that this one's a little bit more powerful in terms of what you guys do get. Like for the input option, when you guys use it at the normal speed option, both of them is very close to 1000 watts. But when you guys use ultra fast option, this one, it goes up to 1300 watts, which is way more power than this one. And also when you guys use the output option for the AC option, I didn't even bother testing more than one AC option because for this one, when you guys use it, it only goes up to 1100 watts. And this one goes to 1400 watts when you guys use the electric kettle. So just by using that test right there, you can see how much more powerful this unit is compared to the old one. And it does give you guys a smart control to connect it via the app using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, which is really awesome. So after doing the test, I would say that this is like an upgraded version of this one, even though it's slightly smaller. The battery on here might not be as long, but definitely works a lot better in terms of what you guys do get compared to 757. If you guys would compare both of these here. But now we did a comparison of both of them. Now to answer the question of whether or not it's worth it or not and which one's the better option to go for. So obviously if you guys would compare these to like other power station that's like the smaller version that's not like the 767, they are pretty worth it for what you guys do get. But if you guys can see from the test when you guys compare both of these here, you guys can definitely see that this one's a lot more worth it for what you guys do get. So if you guys want my honest opinion, it's very obvious that this is the better option to go for, which is the newest version. If you guys want a faster charging speed, a more power device that allow you guys to charge more power on here when you guys use it. You can see, like I mentioned, 1400 watts versus 1100 watts. And also give you guys app control, which is really cool as well. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or have one of these, that obviously don't buy one and save your money on something else actually do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it will definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.